Paige Bueckers is finally getting a little reality check once again from the media because, ESPN just told it like it was. The best point guard under 25 is our girl, Caitlin Clark. Let's dive.
So ESPN today ranked the top 10 players under 25 based on ceiling. This isn't based on how good they.
What if I told you that the most explosive conversation in women's basketball right now has nothing to do with a championship trophy, a blockbuster trade, or even a last-second buzzer beater? Instead, the firestorm is over a single ranking. A list that was supposed to simply recognize young talent has instead set the internet on fire. ESPN just released its top 25 players under 25, a tradition that sparks debate every single year. But this time, it feels different. At the very top of that list, above Paige Bueckers, the UConn phenom once dubbed Paige Buckets. Above Angel Reese, the unstoppable forward who turned Bayou Barbie into a brand and a movement. Above Aliyah Boston, the defensive anchor who carried South Carolina to glory and now dominates for the Indiana Fever. Sitting above all of them is Caitlin Clark. Some fans call it destiny fulfilled, a coronation years in the making. Others, they dismiss it as media-driven hype, the result of ESPN chasing clicks and spotlighting the league's most marketable star. But the truth? The combination of Clark's numbers, her gravity as a playmaker, and the ripple effect she's had on television ratings, ticket sales, and even jersey demand paint a picture of a player who isn't just part of the WNBA's future. She's already defining its present. And while Twitter threads rage on and fan bases clash over who deserve the crown, we're going to do something different. We're breaking down exactly why ESPN made this controversial call, how the rest of the list stacks up, and why. Whether you love her or can't stand the sight of her, Caitlin Clark's placement at number 1 might have just rewritten the trajectory of the league itself. When ESPN unveiled its rankings, it wasn't just about today's stat lines or last season's highlights. The panel wasn't looking for who dominated yesterday. They were projecting tomorrow. The list was built around ceiling, which young stars have the tools, the intangibles, and the staying power to reshape the league for the next decade. That's what makes this debate nuclear. Because by putting Caitlin Clark at number 1, ESPN isn't just saying she's elite right now. It's saying her upside is greater than anyone else's. It's saying she could become untouchable. The instant the rankings went live, the basketball world split apart. Headlines flooded social feeds. Debates lit up TikTok and Twitter. For some, it was validation. For others, it was blasphemy. Here's how it shook out. Number 1. Caitlin Clark, Iowa's record-shattering guard, now leading the Indiana Fever into uncharted territory. Number 2. Paige Bueckers, the silky UConn guard who's battled injuries but still flashes brilliance every time she steps on the court. Number 3. Aliyah Boston, the anchor in the paint, Rookie of the Year in 2023, and already one of the most efficient players in the league.
Due to injuries, Caitlin Clark has been limited to 13 games this season, averaging 17 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. But when healthy, Clark's impact is enormous. She stretches the floor with her shooting range, pushes the pace, picks apart defenses with her passing. The 23-year-old brings an unmatched excitement factory every time she's on the court, and her confidence spreads to the whole team. She's the biggest draw on the road of any WNBA player, so her effect on the entire league is huge. She is the league. She's not a needle mover.
Number 4. Dominique Malona, the teenage French prodigy whose name few Americans even knew before this list, but who's being heralded as a future superstar. Number 5. Angel Reese, the relentless forward whose hustle, rebounding, and charisma have made her both loved and hated, but impossible to ignore. The fallout was instant. Fans of Paige claimed she was robbed. Reese supporters argued her impact off the glass and in clutch games couldn't be ignored. Boston's fan base pointed out she's already proven herself at the pro level, while Clark hasn't played a full WNBA season yet. And Malonga's placement? That sparked confusion, curiosity, and in some corners, outrage. The memes, the threads, the hot takes, chaos everywhere. But here's the truth hiding underneath all that noise. Caitlin Clark is not just ranked number 1 because of what she's done, but because of what she represents. The gravity she has when she steps onto the court, the way defenses warp around her, The way networks shift their programming schedules when she plays, numbers alone don't capture it. She's altered the ecosystem. And that's the real shock. This list isn't just about talent, it's about influence. And on that front, no one under 25 comes close. Even with injuries limiting her to just 13 games this season, Clark's numbers are jaw-dropping. 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. That's not just rookie hype. That's production levels most veterans dream of. But stats alone don't capture her impact. She stretches defenses to the parking lot with her limitless shooting range. Defenders panic when she crosses half court because she's just as dangerous from the logo as she is at the rim. She speeds up the game's tempo, forces defenses into uncomfortable rotations, and constantly creates opportunities for her teammates. And here's the kicker. Clark isn't just a needle mover. As ESPN's write-up admitted, she is the needle. She's the most watched, most discussed, most in-demand player in the WNBA right now. Road arenas sell out when she's in town. TV ratings spike whenever her games are broadcast. Ticket resale prices triple. She's not just playing in the league, she's reshaping it. Now, let's talk Paige Bueckers, because her fans are furious about this ranking. And honestly, they have a point. Paige is elite. She's efficient, smooth, and capable of dropping 40 points in a single game with an insane shooting percentage. Her mid-range is polished, her leadership is strong, and she carries herself like a seasoned star. But here's the difference. Paige elevates her team. Clark elevates the league. Paige makes her fanbase proud. Clark changes television programming schedules, boosts sponsorships, and forces franchises to adjust entire marketing strategies. That kind of gravitational pull is rare, and it's exactly why ESPN put Clark on top. The article even admitted something brutal. Paige's timing was unfortunate.
Caitlin Clark's pick and roll mate coming in at number 3 to 6'5" center. Aliyah Boston, I would take her over Angel Reese. I just think she's more talented and more skilled. Angel Reese does have a higher motor, but we talk about the size, the skill, the ability to pass the ball, pass out of double teams, play out of the short pick and roll, shoot the three, shoot the mid-range, score with the left hand, right hand around the basket. I mean,
General managers hyped her as a surefire Hall of Famer from day one. But then Clark arrived, reset every expectation, and made even excellent rookie performances look ordinary. Not because Paige isn't great, but because Caitlin's explosion redefined the scale. If you ask Indiana Fever fans, they'll tell you, Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston are the most important duo in the WNBA right now. Boston is a monster in the paint, dominant on defense, versatile on offense, and skilled enough to score with either hand around the rim. She can even stretch her game to mid-range jumpers, and scouts believe she'll add a three-point shot soon. But here's the catch. Boston thrives when her guards feed her. She's unstoppable when she gets touches, but she relies on the ball getting inside. Clark doesn't need that. She is the setup. She controls the pace, creates her own looks, and generates opportunities for everyone else. That's what gives her the edge in ESPN's eyes. Still, don't sleep on Boston. She's already an all-star, she's a defensive anchor, and her ceiling is MVP level. But when you're ranking uniqueness of impact, Clark edges her out. Angel Reese is one of the most polarizing players in basketball today. Her rebounding numbers are ridiculous. Her energy is infectious, and she's steadily improving her offensive game, now averaging nearly 4 assists per game, proving she's not just a cleanup player, but a developing playmaker. Her fans argue she deserves a higher spot, and maybe they're right about her long-term potential. But here's where ESPN drew the line. Reese's dominance doesn't completely warp defensive schemes. Coaches prepare for her strength and rebounding, but no one's building an entire game plan around stopping her from 30 feet out. With Clark, that's mandatory. Reese is tough, but Clark is uncontainable. Sitting at number 4, Dominique Malona is perhaps the most intriguing name on the list. At just a teenager, she's averaging 13.5 points and 7.4 rebounds on 60% shooting. That efficiency is absurd for her age, and it's why scouts see her as a future superstar. But again, the keyword is future. Malona is building her legacy, while Clark is already living hers. That's the distinction. Rankings like these don't hand out credit for what-ifs. They reward who's shaking the league right now. Here's where ESPN's ranking really stung Clark's critics. It wasn't just about stats. It was about cultural and commercial impact. Clark isn't just raising her team's performance. She's raising the entire WNBA economy. She broke rookie attendance records. She boosted television ratings to historic highs. She forced networks to move women's games into primetime slots. And she shattered merchandise sales, proving she's more than a player. She's a phenomenon. Critics dismiss this as marketing, but professional sports have always been about two things: performance and draw. Caitlin Clark is the rare star who embodies both. She's producing elite numbers while simultaneously revolutionizing the league's visibility. That's why she's number one. Here's the scary part for every other player on that list. Caitlin Clark is only in her second year. She hasn't even entered her prime yet. If she's already number one now, where do you think she'll be in 3 years? In 5, Paige Bueckers, Aliyah Boston, Angel Reese, Dominique Malona, they all have massive potential. But Clark has already raised the bar so high that everyone else is being measured against her instead of the veterans. That's a paradigm shift, and it leaves one haunting question for the rest of the league. If this is what Clark looks like at 23, what happens when she peaks? ESPN's 25 under 25 list isn't just a ranking. It's a snapshot of the league's future. And that snapshot makes one thing very clear. Caitlin Clark is already redefining the sport. Paige Bueckers might be smoother. Aliyah Boston might be stronger. Angel Reese might be scrappier. Dominique Malona might be the future. But Caitlin Clark? She's all of it at once. The skill, the swagger, the spectacle. The haters can argue. The fans can debate. But the receipts don't lie. ESPN didn't just put Clark at number one. They confirmed what's been obvious since her Iowa days. Caitlin Clark isn't just under 25. She's already on top. So, do you agree with ESPN's ranking? Or do you think another young star deserves the crown? Let me know in the comments below, because this conversation is far from over.